Ready. Okay. Just gets me pumped up, a little countdown. All right, first question right off the bat. Do I think it's hard? No, but you guys probably haven't seen this topic over a year. It's been over a year since you talked about parabolas, focus, and directrix, probably. All right, so let's just talk real quick. Focus, and I'm just going to show you on my graph right here. The focus is at 0, -1. So here is my focus, and the directrix is at y equals 1. So if I graphed in the directrix, and again, we're on number 6, August 2017, same exam we've been in. There it is right there, the focus and the directrix. The parabola, the focus, if you remember, is inside the parabola, and the directrix is outside the parabola. So if I were to have somebody come up here, grab the pen and say, do a quick sketch of how this looks, you would have to do it this way. Why? Because focus has to be where again? Inside, and the directrix has to be outside. If I did it this way, they wouldn't follow my rules. Okay, so what's this equation right here of this parabola? Which one of these? All right, there's a bunch of things I need to go over. First thing is equation of a parabola. Let's review that one. Okay, the equation of a parabola, not on your formula sheet. Something I got to go 5 weeks into remember into the Regents. Now, I will forewarn you, I use a certain formula that maybe your teacher last year did not. I can teach this better than using other formulas. Here's what I use for the equation of a parabola. 1/4 p times x minus h squared plus k on the outside. That's the one I don't know if that looks familiar to anybody, but that's the one I use. Okay, what do the variables mean? Ready? Let me start with h and k. Those are the vertex coordinates, meaning the high or low point of your parabola. The high or low point. I'll get to that in a second. Just let me get through P. P, distance from focus to vertex. Okay. I need to have you guys answer this question. Last year, dig deep for last year. How do you find the vertex given the focus and the directrix? You remember where it was? Where the vertex was in relation to the directrix and the focus? It was always halfway. It's halfway in between. Yes. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you right now on my graph. How far is it from the focus to the directrix? How many units? 2, so what's halfway? 1, so where's my vertex going to be? 0, 0. There's the vertex, 0, 0. Okay, so my vertex, h and k are going to be 0, 0. Knowing that, help me find the p-value. What's the distance from the focus to the vertex? What's that distance right there from the vertex to the focus? Here we go. Let's hear from nobody. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I want to hear? What's that distance? Just 1. So my p-value is 1. I have every value I need now. Write the equation. Here we go. Y equals 1/4 times p. What's our p-value? 1. So 1/4 times 1? Just 1/4. So 1/4. What's going to go inside here? X minus, what's the vertex coordinates? X minus 0 plus, what's the other coordinate? 0, the y coordinate. Can you guys help me clean this up here? I don't like the way that looks, and it's not even a choice. X minus 0. Oh boy. X, and then I'm going to square it, right? So 1/4 x squared. Doesn't it seem like every problem we do, I always end it with, there's a little trap you may fall into. That's what's so tough about the exam, right? Same thing here. There's a trap. And you guys may not notice this, and that scares me a little bit. but I need to add something to this. Remember at the very beginning, I told you guys the only way I'm going to draw on a parabola is this way, where the focus is inside, directrix outside. If it's frowning, opening down, you remember what the leading number had to be? Negative. Yep. And there's no way there's no formula that's going to tell us that's going to happen unless we realize the focus is going to be inside. It's got to open down, which means the leading number has to be negative. And we're still not out of the woods because they pulled this business where they didn't write it y equals form. So here's what you have to do in your group right now. In your group, solve for y in each of these equations and let me know which one's equal to negative 1/4 x squared. Okay, solve for y on each of them right now in your group, about 30 seconds. Solve for y in each of them and tell me which one is equal to my negative 1/4 x squared I just found. Got it, Lucas? What do you got? Choice 2, yeah. Divide both sides by divide both sides by negative 4. There's a 1 out in front. There's negative 1/4 x squared. Yep. And it stinks. I'm going to mention it. It stinks. But let's say you didn't recognize you had to have a negative in front. Everyone's picking choice 4. You do all that work perfectly, and then you forget that it's got to be a negative because it opens down. You're going to pick 4. All right. Anything from you guys? Anything else? We sure? This is not going to be the last time we see a parabola question. I know it's going to show up 5 weeks from today. 12. Got your calculators too? Let's get them out. Let's get them out. I realize it's a lot of reading, but go right ahead and read through it. We got this. We got it. All right, here we go. Here's the biggest part they tell us. X-intercepts. Geez, I think this is the 3rd time we've talked about this. What's that mean, X-intercepts? Solutions, zeros, roots. So they're telling you the solutions, negative 12, 10, and 14. Can you help me work backwards to get to the equation? Because I need to know if it's going to be A or B. So if I had x equals negative 2, x equals 10, and x equals 14 as my answers. Help me, work backwards. What must be in the parentheses for you guys to get negative 2, 10, and 14? What must have been in those parentheses to start out with? Well, if the answer is negative 2, Vinny, what must have been in the parentheses? X plus 2. Brian, what must have been in here to get x equals 10? X minus 10. And Emma, what must have been here to get x equals 14? Everyone agree? Working backwards. Okay. Well, obviously, then the equation can't be A, right? Because those are all opposite signs. Which statements could be true? It could be this, or yeah, take a look. I got everything inside. They just put a negative in front, right? So yeah, it could be this, or you know what? It could be this as well. All they did was throw a negative inside in front. Okay, could have been either one. Could have been either one. My concern is that the factors were correct, which they are. So now our turn now. Which one's true? Is the maximum at x equals 10 or is the maximum 56? How are we going to find out? That's why you got your calculators out. Okay, everyone go ahead to your y equals screen. Plug in the equation from the answer. Negative x plus 2, x minus 10, and x minus 14. And I'll do the same. Again, we're putting in the equation from the answers because that's what it's going to be based off of. And if you guys take a look at your graph, oh boy, that doesn't look too pretty. I don't think that's going to help us out if you look at your graph. Is there anything else your calculator has that I can look at to see where the maximum happens other than the graph? Well, the graph's still not going to help me out. I don't want to count anything. Anywhere else? What else do you have in your calculator? Ethan, you have a table of values, right? Everyone know how to get to your table of values? All right, well, let's take a look at your table of values and talk. Okay, take a look. First one was the maximum occurs when x equals 10. Everyone go to your table right now. Look where x equals 10. What's the y value? 0. So does the maximum occur there? At 0? No. At 10, x equals 10, it's telling me it's at 0. That's not the maximum. All right, well, what's the other choice then? The volume, the max volume is 56. Look at your y column. What's the highest number you see? 56. Nothing goes above 56. Yes, nothing goes above 56. I'm not talking negative. I'm talking positive values here. 56. Yep. So it'll be B and D. Anything? Stay on that page, go down to number 14. Stay on that page, go to number 14. Yeah. Inverse. What comes to mind when you say, anybody come to mind? One thing in particular comes to my mind when anybody says the word inverse. No. Substitution, no. Does begin with an S, but switch. Switch what there, big dog? I should have stopped you at switch. Switch what? Anybody? Come on. X and Y. That's exactly what I think about when I hear inverse. Switch X and Y. It doesn't have a Y though. Or does it? Where's the Y up here? F of X. All right, so all